So, welcome to my video attempting to show the development of passenger lines in East London in the 19th century. Before we start, just a few words about the illustrations. Each slide represents the year a new line or lines were opened. Some station events may have happened before the slide date. Yellow represents new, white existing or no change, and red closure. So before we get going, better just set the scene of what it was like in East London before the first railway came in 1839. So basically between the city and out of the River Lee was already very heavily populated. Lots of industry, especially all the docks, the London docks, West and East India docks. Once you got between the River Lee and the River Roding, it became quite rural. In fact, where I was dragged up in East Ham was basically just 2 or 3 hamlets and literally nothing really going on. For those of you not familiar with the area, the distance from Aldgate to the River Roding is about 8 miles. So the first railway to get into East London was the extension of the Eastern Counties line from Romford through to Mile End, and specifically Devonshire Street Mile End, with 2 other stations at Stratford and Ilford. So in 1840, the Northern and Eastern Railway extended their line from Broxbourne down to Stratford, with a new station opened at Lea Bridge Road. The Eastern Counties Railway extended their line towards the city and opened a new terminus at Shoreditch. To the south, the London and Blackwall Railway opened a new line from the Minories, just outside the city, to Blackwall, with intermediate stations at Shadwell, Stepney, Limehouse, West India Docks and Poplar. This was quite a unique railway in the fact that it was made totally for passengers and it was cable hauled initially. In 1841, the London and Blackwall Railway extended its line to a new terminus at Fenchurch Street. On the Eastern Counties line, Devonshire Street and Mile End station closed and was replaced by a new station called Mile End. Up on the Broxbourne line, the Lea Bridge Road was renamed Lea Bridge. So in 1847, the Eastern Counties Railway finally opened the line from Stratford to North Woolwich to passengers, with stations at Stratford Bridge, Barking Road and North Woolwich. It had previously been a freight-only line down to Bow Creek, opened by the Eastern Counties and Thames Junction Railway. The Eastern Counties Railway also changed the name of Shoreditch to the more upmarket Bishopsgate, and the London and Blackwall Railway opened Cannon Street Road station. In 1849, the London and Blackwall Railway opened a new stretch of line from Stepney up to the Eastern Counties main line and opened new stations at Bow and Bromley, and on the main line itself, Victoria Park and Bow. Also, it had closed Cannon Street Road station, and that didn't last long. In 1850, the East and West India Dock and Birmingham Junction Railway extended their line from Islington to Bow and the London and Blackwall Railway as the penultimate part of their goal of linking the Midlands with the lucrative dock trade. They opened stations at Kingsland, Hackney and Bow, whilst the London and Blackwall Railway closed Bodleian Road station. In 1852, the East and West India Docks and Birmingham Junction Railway finally achieved its objective when it extended its line from Bow down to Poplar. On the Eastern Counties main line, Victoria Park and Bow station was closed. In 1854, the Eastern Counties Railway connected its North Woolwich line to what was by now the North London line at Victoria Park and opened a new station at Stratford Low Level. To the east, the London, Tilbury and Southend Railway opened a line from Forest Gate Junction on the East Counties main line through to Tilbury and included a new station at Barking. Back on the London and Blackwall Railway, Minories Station had closed. In 1855, with the opening of the Royal Victoria Dock, the Eastern Counties Railway opened a line skirting the north side of the new dock from Thames Wharf Junction to Silvertown. A new station was also opened at Custom House. In 1856, the Eastern Counties Railway opened a line from the Stratford Broxbourne line to Loughton, opening stations in our area at Low Leighton and Leytonstone. Also, the Eastern Counties Railway opened a station at Victoria Park and Hackney Wick. In 1858, the London Tilbury and Southend Railway opened a direct line to Barking from the Gas Factory Junction on the London and Blackwall Railway to Little Ilford Junction on its existing line to the west of Barking. Stations were opened at Bromley, Plaistow and good old East Ham. The London Tilbury and Southend also opened up the Abbey Mills curve connecting its new line to the North Woolwich line. Meanwhile, the Eastern Counties Railway opened Tidal Basin Station just at the start of the recently opened line to the north of Victoria Dock. In 1865, the North London Railway opened up a new line from Dalston Junction down to the city of Broad Street. Kingston Station was closed and replaced by a new station, Dalston Junction, on the new line, and there were further stations at Shoreditch and the terminus at Broad Street. Meanwhile, what was now the Great Eastern Railway opened up stations at Silvertown on the North Woolwich line and at Old Ford on the main line. In 1869, the East London Railway opened up a line from New Cross to Wapping, utilising the original Thames Tunnel, and was fully underground at Wapping, where a new station was opening. The North London Railway had been busy opening up Haggerston Station on its city branch, and on its original main line it had opened stations at Homerton and Victoria Park, which had replaced Victoria Park and Hackney Wick Station. Further along the line, they had also opened stations at Old Ford and Poplar East India Road. Also, just south of Bow Station, they'd opened Bow Curve, thus making a connection with the London Tilbury and Southend Railway just west of Bromley Station. Meanwhile, the Great Eastern Railway had changed the name of Low Leighton Station to plain Leighton. In 1870, the Great Eastern Railway opened the first part of its line to Chingford from the Broxbourne line at Lea Bridge to Churn Hall Street. It also opened stations at St James's Street, Hoe Street and the temporary terminus at Churn Hall Street. In 1871, the London and Blackwall Railway opened a line from Millwall Junction down into the Isle of Dogs, with stations at Millwall Junction, South Dock and Millwall Docks. Meanwhile, the Great Eastern Railway had opened up Burdett Road Station between Stepney and Bow. In 1872, the Great Eastern Railway opened a line from Bethnal Green up to Lea Bridge on the Broxbourne line, thus connecting with its part-built Chingford line. Stations were opened at Bethnal Green Junction, both on the new and existing main line, Cambridge Heath, London Fields, Hackney Downs and Clapton. Of some interest is that between these last two stations were two tunnels, a rarity in East London. Finally, on the Eastern Counties main line, Mile End Station was closed. At the same time, the line from Bethnal Green Junction to Bishopsgate was completely remodelled, with a new deviation at the western end to a new station at Bishopsgate low level. The original station remained open. On the Isle of Dogs, the London and Blackwall Railway extended its line from Millwall Docks to a new terminus at North Greenwich and Cubic Town. Further east, the Gaslight and Coke Company opened a branch line from the North Woolwich line east of Custom House to its Beckton Gasworks. Initially, it was only run for freight. However, In 1874, the Beckton branch was opened to passengers, with a new station opened at Beckton. On the Great Eastern Main Line, an extension was opened from Bishopsgate Low Level to a new and final terminus at Liverpool Street. Further east, new stations were opened on the main line at Maryland Point and Manor Park. Still with the Great Eastern Railway, they finally extended their line to Chingford and closed Sherne Hall Station. And finally, on the North Woolwich Line, Barking Road Station's name was changed to Canning Town. In 1876, the East London Railway completed a line from Wapping to Shoreditch and at the same time connected to the Great Eastern Main Line. There were stations at Shadwell, Whitechapel and Shoreditch. The section between Whitechapel and Shoreditch was in open air. The original Bishopsgate station was closed to passengers. In preparations for the opening of the Royal Albert Dock, the Great Eastern Railway opened up a deviation line that was in tunnel to avoid potential delays between the Victoria and Royal Albert Dock. This is the third tunnel in the area, and it was known as Connaught Tunnel, or alternatively the Royal Dock Tunnel or the Silvertown Tunnel. The Great Eastern Railway also opened Bow Road Station on its line to Stepney, opposite to the existing Bow Station. In 1880, with the Royal Albert Dock finally opened, the London and St Catherine's Dock Company opened a line from the North Woolwich Line to the Thames at Galleons. There was new stations at Connaught Road, Central and Galleons. Further up the North Woolwich Line, the Great Eastern Railway had renamed Stratford Bridge Station to Stratford Market, and whilst on the main line they had renamed Old Ford Station to Coburn Road. Down on the London Blackwall Railway, the Limehouse Curve was opened, connecting the extension line to the original line. Also, just to the east of Fenchurch Street, Leman Street Station was opened. In 1884, the Metropolitan District Railway extended the District Line into our area at Whitechapel, with stations at Aldgate East, St Mary's and Whitechapel Mile End. Also, they made a connection to the East London Railway to the east of St Mary's. The line was underground except for at Whitechapel Station. On the Great Eastern Main Line, Coburn Road had been resited and Globe Road and Devonshire Street opened. On the North London Line, South Bromley Station had been opened, and on the Galleons branch, a station had been opened at Manor Way. So in 1894, the final line to be opened in 19th century East London was the Tottenham and Forest Gate Railway, with an extended line from South Tottenham to join the London Tilbury and Southend Railway at Woodgrange Park, and a loop line into East Ham Station. There were new stations at Walthamstow, Leighton, Leytonstone, Wanstead Park and Woodgrange Park. And finally, Galleon stations had been resited a few hundred yards further to the east. So there we have it. In the 60 years since 1839, the East London Railways evolved to look like this. I hope you've enjoyed my amateur but honest attempt to illustrate the evolution of East London's railways. I've tried to be as accurate as I can with the resources available to me, but I'm sure that any mistakes will soon be made known to me. If nothing else, this video could be a good cure for insomnia. Thanks for watching.